greatest assets through challenge, adversity, and struggle. So today is really a cool day because this is going to be video number one of probably hundreds of videos that I'm going to do. I'm going to try and drop at least one of them every single week. And the intent of all these videos is going to be to leave you with some incredible value that you can use in your own life by developing the different assets that are available to develop in your life, which are going to allow you to excel in the arena of life. And that's really the whole intent of this, is just to really impact you in a super positively profound way so that you can ignite something inside of you that's going to make you want to make that change you've always wanted to make. So what's the asset that we're going to talk about today? So this is video number one. And what I want to talk about is how to gain confidence, because I think this is something that a lot of people struggle with. And I'm going to be one of the first people to tell you this is something that I actually struggled with very early on in life because of a lot of the adversity that I faced as a child. And what I'll tell you about confidence is one of those things that once you develop it, it just, it's one of my favorite assets because it allows you to carry yourself in a way where you just don't really care too much about what anybody else thinks. You don't really have any kind of fear about going into the unknown, about challenging yourself, about taking different things on, about doing things that other people would just be kind of uncomfortable doing. And so that's one of the things I just love about confidence is that whether it's wanting to ask somebody out and having no fear of doing so, because you don't worry about what the answer is going to be, or you know what the answer is going to be. You have confidence in yourself that, hey, of course you'd want to go out with me, or he'd want to go out with me. But that's really kind of besides the point. The whole idea behind confidence is just it really gives you an ability to kind of walk in a certain way, carry yourself in a certain way that allows you to do things that just are going to help you excel in life. And so, but in doing so, it can be very hard to develop, especially when, we're all very different. We look different. Some people act different. There's certain things about us that maybe we're just not comfortable with at all. And what I'll tell you is that I know for a fact there's something about everybody, like we all have something that we just don't really particularly feel good about. Maybe it's like something that you're just a little bit insecure about. It could be something physical about you. It could also just be something inside, where some people are just a little quieter than others. Other people are more outspoken. And you just, when you have confidence, it's going to allow you to kind of tackle those things that you feel like are holding you back. And so what I'm here to tell you today, though, this is really the most important thing because it's the one thing that you feel like is holding you back. It's that one thing that you're insecure about that I guarantee you that is where your confidence lies. So I want you to think about that for a second. The one thing that you don't feel good about, or that maybe you feel like you want to hide from other people, that you kind of maybe you make excuses for it, whatever it is, that's what you got to walk into. That very thing, call it an adversity. Maybe it's something you feel challenged with. Maybe it's something you struggle with. That's the very thing that when you embrace it, that is where you're going to gain your confidence. And I can tell you just from personal experience, growing up as a little boy with a deformed left leg, I walked funny, people made fun of me, I got teased. I mean, you name it, I went through it. But it was when I finally really embraced my left leg and when I really started to look at it completely differently. I didn't look at it as, I can't believe this happened to me, or why do I have to go through this? When I really embraced it is when all of this incredible strength was just opened up inside of me, and I started looking at things completely differently, and I realized that the thing that I thought was holding me back is actually not holding me back at all. I was holding myself back. And when I embraced it, suddenly all these doors opened up. And I gained incredible confidence because by embracing what I now call my superpower, my left leg, it helped me develop all these other things about myself that I never would have done. And so that's what I want for you. I want you to look at that one thing in your life, and I don't care what it is, because I know that everybody has it. There's something that's holding you back. There's something that you just, you know, you try and run away from it. Whatever it is, whatever that is where your confidence lies. And so you're gonna have to walk into it. It's the only way you can develop it. But at the end of the day, it really becomes a choice that you just have to make. But I'm here to encourage you to do it. You can do it. Who cares what anybody else thinks? It doesn't matter. In fact, one of my favorite things about, like, if that's something that you struggle with too, is worrying about what other people think about you. Don't, because it doesn't really matter. And the best way to look at that, though, is when you start looking at people a little bit differently. What I'll tell you is that the way people act or respond or react to you has absolutely nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them. And when you can start looking at people that way, you're going to be able to see the real true character of somebody. When somebody cares, when somebody looks at you and sees the good qualities inside and wants to lift you up and not knock you down, that's somebody you want to be around. But when you run into those people who try to knock you down, who just see nothing but bad things, that has absolutely nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with how they see themselves. And when you start to realize that, what you're going to understand is the only opinion that makes any difference whatsoever is the opinion you hold of yourself. It's what you think of yourself. So with that said, this is video number 1. I'm sure it was a little rough. I see a stain on my shirt, but I'm not gonna take it off. This is video number 1. I'm super stoked to be doing these. I'm gonna do them every single week, and we're gonna talk about a different asset every single week, one that you can develop. And the intent here is just to try and give you a little, like a nugget of information, an actionable item that you can then use to start to develop this stuff. Okay? So with that said, this is Matthew Lawrence Sagowski. Super excited to be here. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel. There's going to be a lot more coming, and I can't wait to talk to you next time. See you later.